Welcome to the pre-draft edition of the Redskins Virtual Draft Experience presented by 7-Eleven. And for the next 3 days, we'll bring you exclusive coverage of the 2020 NFL Draft. Joining me, as he has for the past 2 weeks in the preview shows, the mouth of the South, Fred Smoot. Fred, are you ready to not be shocked tonight?
Hey, I'm ready to rock and roll. How can you not be shocked? Just because we think we know the pick, you still got to have some anticipation there, Larry.
Now, during the show, we're going to take you right up to the top of the hour on the start of the draft. And coming up a little bit later this evening, 9 o'clock, we're going to hear from Ron Rivera after the pick is made. Also, you'll hear from the Redskins' first-round pick right here later on the Redskins social media platforms. Coming up in a minute, Ron Rivera earlier, just a couple minutes ago. He's a little anxious, and Kyle Smith as well. Fred, I think we pretty much know what's going to happen here, don't we?
Yeah, we think we know what's going to happen, but hey, at the end of the day, I don't think we can go wrong at number 2. I think everybody in Redskin Nation is at home praying right now on their knees that Chase Young stays in the DMV, and I just think the things he's going to be able to do for this team would be unbelievable. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed right now.
Now, earlier, it was Ron Rivera checking in from his home, where tonight's pick will be made.
Well, Coach Ron Rivera, the time has come. The draft is moments away. How do you feel?
Excited. I really am, Larry. You know, we're in a position to draft a player we believe can help us. So we're pretty excited. I mean, it's going to be, an interesting probably 11 minutes for us, you know. The first 10 is going to belong to Cincinnati. It's not going to take us very long to make our mind up.
Well, sounds like you got your plan pretty well worked out. Do you have any concerns with the virtual nature of the draft? We saw your piece. Great job by Courtney. The guys from IT working double time. Any concerns?
No, it's been interesting, Larry, because we had the league, we had a trial run with them, but we've had 2 of our own that we did on our own that was run by our IT department, and it was good. I mean, the first one was really just going through the process. The second one, though, they threw a couple of glitches in for us. They had us make trades. They had us try to trade down, had us try to trade up. They had people call us to simulate what the trade would be like. We had a situation where one of our guys' phone went out, somebody else's communication went out. So we try to go through those and troubleshoot now so that hopefully if it does pop up, we're ready and it can be seamless. Really
cool. Now, if somebody just tuned into this interview, they heard you say trade down. Has the phone been ringing?
It did. It did early on, but we're in a good spot. We really are. We feel very strongly about, what we're looking at. As I said, because we feel that there's a few guys in this draft that we think can impact us immediately and be a part of what we're doing going forward.
Coach, tomorrow you have 1 pick. Tonight you have 1 pick, obviously. Any chance of you adding a pick tomorrow?
We're working on it. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. We've been talking about different scenarios, different situations. But if we do anything, it's obvious it's going to be pre-draft. It's going to be before the draft starts. And it'll be after the draft concludes tonight and before the draft starts tomorrow. We really don't want to get into a situation where we're right in the middle of something, having to make a decision that we're not ready to make.
And is that maybe related to the virtual nature of the draft, or is it just you got your plan and you're sticking with it?
It's got something to do with the virtual nature of the draft. Just because you'd hate to put yourself in a position where you get stuck and something happens. So, we're trying to time this out. We're trying to make sure we're ready, we're prepared, and we can troubleshoot, like I said, any tough situation or set of circumstances.
Coach, your first year with the Redskins, but you've been through this a bunch of times. What are your feelings tonight, and have they changed any this go around because of the unusual nature? You haven't left your house. We've all been kind of sequestered here. What are your emotions?
Well, like I said, I'm excited about it. I really, truly am. Probably the biggest thing, the difference that we've had to deal with, though, Larry, is in 2011 when we went through this, it was a work stoppage. And so we had an opportunity as coaches, as scouts, as head coach, general managers, we all got to go out and meet these players, watch their pro days, bring them in, have them spend time with us and our coaches and get to know them a little bit better. This one, we're truly relying on what we got from the combine, the bowl games, what our scouts have done the last few years studying these guys. And then we're relying on what our coaches feel in terms of watching the tape and trying to determine whether or not they're going to be a good fit for our system. So we're going to find out, just how good we are in terms of evaluations.
Coach, I gathered from the behind-the-scenes piece that you've had really close communications with your coaching staff. It sure looked that way. I think you had like 9 faces up there on one of those shots. So talk about that if you could, and how this has really worked out for you and your squad.
It's worked out well. It really has, Larry. In spite of the situations and circumstances, I think our IT department, first of all, deserves a big hand of applause because they've done a great job. They really have. They've been very good, very solid. And then the coaches, in terms of just getting themselves prepared and getting themselves ready. They've had to prepare for virtual meetings. They had to prepare for virtual draft. They've done a good job with that. And then kudos to Kyle Smith and his department. I thought the personnel did a great job in terms of prepping for the draft, getting all the information to Kyle, and then his crew, and then getting everything set for us so that, as we get prepared for today, we get prepared for 8:10, when we're on the clock. I think we're ready to go, and I'm excited about it.
Coach, we all are. Redskins Nation, very excited about the possibilities. I mean, again, the time for talk is over. Speculation will end in a few moments. So go get what you need, go get what you want, and thanks for joining us.
All right, Larry. Thank you very much.
Rivera just a few minutes ago, and Fred Smoot, what does it tell you about the coach? I mean, we haven't had a Redskins coach talk to us before draft like Ron Rivera just did. He is very relaxed. He is ready.
Hey, most definitely. Like you said, a lot of coaches wouldn't open up at this time of year. It's all about secrets, so-called secrets at this time of year right now. But coach is very transparent. There's no secret in the room. The elephant in the room is named Chase Young. So you simply know what you're going to do right there. He kind of threw that out there without saying it. We know what we're going to do with the number 2. We're focusing on trying to get back in the second round. We're focusing on who's going to be that third round pick, that fourth round pick. They're just letting you know he always has a plan. And that's what I love about Coach Ron Burgundy and Gold. He always have a plan for his madness. I even like the fact that he weaponized the draft, used it to really get his young quarterback to really focus in more. I like everything. I like how Coach goes about doing everything.
Real quick, before we hear from Kyle Smith, the Redskins have 7 overall picks. Here's a look at the rundown of picks. We know they have the first rounder. They don't have a second rounder.
Yeah.
You never know. Last year, your guy Montez Sweat got picked up for that second round pick. You were happy. Obviously, Fred, the focus tonight is about that second overall pick.
Oh, most definitely. It's about that second overall pick, but you cannot forget but tomorrow is going to come. And you don't want to just sit there tomorrow and watch everybody else go instead of add talent to their team. I wouldn't be shocked if we traded one of next year's pick to try to get back in this draft. I wouldn't be shocked if the Trent Williams trade happened. I wouldn't be shocked if another veteran got traded. At the end of the day, especially a first-year coach, you want to get some of your core guys in here. This will be his first version of his guys that he want to bring in. This is his identity, and I think he wants to get in that second day.
All right, a couple days ago, Kyle Smith joined us on the pre-draft show. Here's comments from Kyle.
It's a virtual draft, and obviously the technology, we're learning how to use it. We're getting pretty good at it, but man, the pressure is going to be on. What has been the most difficult part of trying to get the technology in order? Because this has never happened before. I've said on the air, I'm very confident this is going to work. A lot of smart people putting their time and expertise into it. But what's your viewpoint on the virtual draft?
Yeah, well, I mean, number one, I just want to thank, Ashish and Christian, Ashish Kinner and Christian Smith. They do a tremendous job with the IT department. I don't know what the hell they're doing. To be honest with you, they've got stuff in my house. It's all set up. I've got, it looks like a NASA space station, in my family room. But they've got all the stuff set up, and that's really, I don't really know about that. You know what I mean? So it hasn't been an adjustment for me because I'm just trusting that they know what they're doing and they set up the, the equipment and, just teach us how to execute it, and we'll do that, But once, it doesn't matter if we're at Redskins Park, if we're on a virtual video, if we're in a bunker somewhere, we have our plan and we're going to execute our plan come draft day. We just got to know who to call and how to execute the picks.
Come Saturday night, what would constitute a good draft for the Washington Redskins? I know you're not going to give me any details on who you're going to pick. Obviously, you got the second overall pick. We know the list of picks you have. It's going to unfold before our very eyes. We're going to find out when the world finds out. But when the dust settles, what's going to constitute a good draft for you and the team?
Well, it's just getting better, and at the end of the day, when you have the process that we have and you add good football players at any level that have roles, defined roles, are of good character, tough things, intangibles that we look for, guys that are wired like Redskins, all those things that we're looking for on top of having the skill set. At the end of the day, all of these players that we add they're going to have a particular skill set that we think is going to help the Washington Redskins, not only this year, but also in developmental moving forward. So that at the end of the day, we will get better at the end of this draft. We will add pieces. How many pieces we add, obviously, that, you know, there's all kind of scenarios that could happen in terms of the draft. But we're really excited to move forward. We've gotten our group of guys. We've gone through the process. We've talked to the coaches. We're just ready to roll now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, under a normal scenario, we would have seen players visiting Redskins Park over the last several weeks. That has not happened under the circumstances. Have you gotten what you needed to out of these video calls?
Yeah, and our coaching staff, I want to thank them as well. They've done an outstanding job ever since the postseason really hit. We've utilized every resource that we have, along with everybody else in the league, and we feel confident moving forward.
You know, I talked to Ron Rivera about the fact that maybe drafts might not be as frequent in this draft because of the way things are working. How's that going to work in your opinion? I mean, because there's got to be someone, obviously, if you're not together, someone's going to have to turn that pick in. Do you think we see fewer trades, I should say, because of this scenario?
It's a good question, because we've talked about that ourselves, like wondering will it be kind of a more, laid back draft and not as aggressive, maybe more conservative with teams moving up or back. But I don't think, I think it's, once that thing starts rolling and the blood starts flowing everywhere, for everyone, and you start having confidence in, okay, I just got off the phone, I call, say one team and I get off the phone, that was easy. It's good connection. Like, once you get a confidence that you're operating under it's not normal circumstance, but a confidence that we can do what we need to do and function fine, I think there will be trades. You know what I mean? How many, I don't know. But I thought the same thing you did. I thought, like, because I'm a little bit, at first I was a little bit worried, like, well, shoot, what if, this happens or that happens, and all these things that you can't account for. But, you just trust in the people that set everything up, and you trust the league and their process. And I think after a little bit, I think you could see some teams loosening up and start making some trades.
Thank you to Kyle Smith for the time earlier this week. The time for talk is over. As we said, want to thank Paisanos for feeding the crew here tonight. Don't forget, coming up later tonight, a little bit after, around 8:10, 8:15, our reaction, Fred's reaction to the Redskins' first-round pick at 9 o'clock. Ron Rivera live right here on this draft special. Also, we'll hear from the number one pick a little bit around 9:15, whoever that might be. 7-Eleven's virtual draft party coming up Saturday as well, presented by 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven is a neighborhood store known for convenience, and during this unprecedented time, they've taken on the responsibility of helping shoppers get what they need, when and where they need it, including delivery of in-store items such as snacks, drinks, and more. Redskins fans can download the 7Now app, enter the code Redskins at checkout for free contactless delivery valid until April 30th. That's it for now. For Fred Smoot, I'm Larry Michael. Buckle up for the draft, and we'll see you later.